With his never-ending energy, his infectious enthusiasm, and his good humor, John Freely has enlightened and stimulated many generations of college students in fields as diverse as physics, history, literature, and history of science.
So we appreciate you, we admire you, and we all love you. Thank you for all your contributions.
Continuity and change. Well, if you go back to the first philosopher of nature, Thales of Miletus, it's substance and quality. The substance remains the same, the qualities change. Water is water, whether it's solid, liquid, or gas. I was originally solid, and then I became liquid, now I'm all gas. When they asked me about whether Istanbul has changed, well, here is Istanbul 1862. There's not a building on here that I cannot recognize. These are the buildings of the, at that time, this photograph was taken from the Beyazıt Fire Tower. And these are the buildings of the Ottoman Ministry of War right here, now Istanbul University. This is the Zincirli Han. This is the Büyük Valide Han, which was built in 1661 by the Sultan Valide Kösem. But this little building here is the headquarters of the American Board of Missionaries. And this is where Cyrus Hamlin, when he first came, Cyrus Hamlin first came to Izmir in 1839. Then he came by ship with his wife to Istanbul, and they landed right here. And this is where they would have stayed first, in this building here. His first mission, actually, was among the indigent Irish in Belfast, Maine. And then his second choice after that was China. He wanted to go to China as mission. In fact, most of the young missionaries would have preferred to go to China. They didn't really know about Turkey, and it was only, and Africa was another choice. I never touched this stuff. Thank you. You'll notice this little building here. That's a little Geji Kondu that Cyrus Hamlin himself built. That's where he changed his clothes. That's where he went to the toilet. As we learned from Ted Widmer, he lost 2 of his fingers one day, so the 2 fingers are still somewhere in here. It didn't stop him at all. This is Hat Day. This is the day, the first day that hats had to be worn in the Ottoman Empire. Before that, you could wear turbans and things like that, but this is Hat Day. And these gentlemen are all wearing their hats. And they're all wearing very fancy hats. The second gentleman from the left, this gentleman here, this is Hussein Bektash. Hilary Sunderboyd, none of those 3 names are actually his name. His real name is Carl Haywood, and he was the illegitimate son of Wild Bill Haywood, the founder of the International Workers of the World, bicultural, bilingual humanities course, which is what made this place what it is then and what it is now. And the continuity in this place is precisely that program. And there's a mistaken idea that people like myself came and did it. No, people like myself came and were the beneficiaries of that. We learned from that. This is Philip Ralph. His textbook on Western civilization, Burns and Ralph, is still required reading at Harvard, MIT, and so forth. So Bob Hall found him, hired him, and he became the head of the humanities program in my time. This is Donald Hoffman. Now, those of you, this is Donald Hoffman, musician, musicologist, composer, madman. This is Donald Hoffman with the first of his 9 wives. Despite my great age, I am outranked in seniority by almost everybody in this room, because I disappeared for 17 years, but the people that were my students here, after they got their PhDs, they came back and they're still here. So every one of my students here has been here longer than I have. The only advantage in being, see, people say there are certain advantages in being old, but I haven't discovered any yet. The only advantage is that people can't check on your stories. But Minnie can, and so I can get away with it until Minnie gets back again. So, and this is me, of course. And this is Cal Atwood, the assistant principal of a college. This is Buck Rogers. You can see how handsome he is. And this is John Cherishevsky, assistant headmaster and full-time hellraiser. There was a split between Robert Academy and Robert College. The most interesting people here in my time were actually at Robert Academy. Now, Cherishevsky was a great philanderer, but so was his wife. And at one dinner party, I can remember Cherishevsky sitting at a long table. He's at one end of the table, she's at the other end, and there were about 5 couples in between. And he said to his wife, he said, "You've slept with every man at Robert College." And she said, "Name 6. And this is the last Shay of the Nizat Baba. He is the son of Nafi Baba, famous Nafi Baba. See, when Ataturk closed all the dervish brotherhoods, he went off to the States. And he took as his official name Baba. And he married an American wife, and his sons are named John Baba, and Robert Baba, and Arthur Baba. and he came back for this reunion, especially for this reunion, and Suhaila Artamel, here's Suhaila. Suhaila, by the way, Suhaila, please say that. One evening, I was told that Ashik Vaisal is playing at Albert Long Hall. And it was Eric Kabash who had run. Ashik Vaisal was playing, and there were 1 or 2 faculty members, a few students, but all of the people from the Geji Kandu came crowding down to hear him play. And he sang Kara Toprak. This is Michael Austin. He was the star of our humanities program. With him is the second of Donald Hoffman's 9 wives. Now, Michael is one of my heroes. He's Tony Greenwood's hero. He's a very handsome man, great scholar. My daughter Maureen had lost contact with him, but she had gone to the Cotswolds on a trip and seen Michael running a beautiful 13th century Norman church, and she discovered him. So she said, "John, you must come. Michael is the pastor of a church in the Cotswolds." I went on a holiday, and I came, and there was this beautiful, it's Christmas Eve, and there we are, organ playing, and Michael's giving the sermon. He's a terribly handsome man, and people are admiring him, and he comes down the main aisle, and I'm sitting on the aisle, and he's coming past, and he had no idea I was there. And I put out my hand, and he looked at me, and he said, "Esholashek." This is the true story. It's Michael Austin. These are the kind of people we had here. And we still have, there are very respectable people here pretending to be, but there are still very unusual people here. Thanks very much.